Hello. So, I don't really know what we're doing today, but I need to stream, so we're here. We is be here. Hopefully you guys are well. I'm playing with Vibrant Visuals today because, I mean, I just kind of feel like it. Right, I've not really played with the basic level of Vibrant Visuals in a while, so we're going to see how it goes. What's up, Slime? How you doing? Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm on a roof. Very peculiar place to start, but okay, so and more fireworks. Let me just actually, this will be a good place to sit for a minute. I need to think about this area because I basically saw a few builds on Instagram Reels last night. I was scrolling through Instagram and I have a few more ideas of stuff I want to build. So that'll be very interesting. Yeah, I love that you can hear the gas from here. Whilst we're here, let me just tear this down. I'm going to need this area at some point. I haven't got actions and stuff. I don't know, like, I might get it. Like, I'm trying to redeem it through Xbox rewards, but it doesn't work, even though I've got so many points. I can't redeem them into mine coins, which is kind of annoying. I did originally really want to get actions and stuff, but I just haven't really bothered. Let me trim this down a little bit more so it looks a little bit more pleasant. I've only got 1.6k. I've got like 5,000 or something. I don't know. Can you check mine coins? Okay, well it's blocking the game from, it's blocking the thing for me because I have a little live symbol, so I don't actually know. It's worth it. Every update they add so much as well. Yeah, I'll think about it, honestly. Is this actually a good, I mean, we can have another build here regardless, but I need to think about, well, the other build I was actually planning to make. I mean, we'd have to chop down this area, I think. Let me place this to remind myself later. I need to come back here. I'm making a, I'm planning to make a Statue of Liberty copper golem statue that oxidizes over time. And, I'm trying to think. Oh, the base, it's basically, everything I do has a meaning, right? And I'm not just building it for the sake of it, right? Why have I got a, the fuck? Where's my skin? Where's my, oh god. God, I hate this, like, UI. Library? Skins? Okay, thank you. I don't know why that just disappeared. Okay, okay, going back to what I was saying. The purpose of the build of the Copper Golem statue is that it's supposed to signify the bond between a person and the mobs. So like them coexisting and working together. And I think having it with like a couple of column kind of makes sense because, you know, you're getting a little lag. Let me see if I'm lagging. If you guys know, like, if we're lagging at all, I'm just getting stream because I'm not. I wouldn't put up with it, and I didn't expect you guys to either. So let me see on my end. It could be VV to be fair. But yeah. So let me put some stuff in the bin. Let me start off by doing that, and then we'll go from there. Actually, let's keep that. Okay. So, in other news, I heard that the drop has a release date. I'm kind of nervous because it's a bit close to when they'd have a break. Like, what? Isn't it the 16th? That's like the week after. That would be the only opportunity this year. Like, it's kind of concerning. Not for Java, but Bedrock's, you know how it is, right? So it's kind of a little bit nerve-wracking, personally. But hopefully things will go smoothly. Let me get some glass. I don't know what I want to do, actually. So if I'm pausing, it's just things IRL. I tend to like when I need to like listen. I'm like a hamster. When I need to listen to something intently, I'll stop what I'm doing completely. Yeah, it was good. Like any animal, yeah, but hamsters in particular will like just stand up, and it's very because obviously they rely on their hearing and like I guess taste as well. But because they've got poor eyesight, they put everything into their hearing. Oliver does not. Fuck. Leo does it quite a lot. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now. In the next drop, you may or may not know this. If you don't know this, then I'll be very surprised, but the majority of people will know this. We have nautiluses, and the coral nautilus only spawns, you guessed it, in the coral biome. Now, funnily enough, we don't have a coral biome near us, really. You'll see the coordinates change. We have a coral field, which we made artificially, but they're not gonna spawn there. So instead, we're here. Now you may recognise this. This is the axolotl area, where I got a blue axolotl, and this is just an area where I had rabbits for rabbit foot a few weeks ago. I thought coral nautilus would spawn in the Gravity Hills. Yeah, true. Yeah, I only got 16 rabbits foot because they're such a pain to farm. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a mini tube. Right? Now, they burn in the daylight. Wait, do they? Wait, is the coral nautilus a zombie variant or is it regular? I don't. This is This is how you know I don't look into the fucking snapshots. It's a zombie variant. Oh. That's odd, but we don't need to make it that huge. Let's just wait. Let me remake this, and then probably like when the update drops, we'll take this down and stuff. What's up, Elemental? Zombie Nautilus don't suffocate, but they do burn without armor. Oh yeah, the best bit of advice I can give people in preparation for this drop is to not loot. I'm sure you guys already know this. Any underwater structure. I guess except monuments. Because as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong, you can have buried treasure chests render, but just don't look in them until an update releases. And if the update releases with like new content for the chest, you may get the new stuff. Okay, so we're gonna do this to help guide it into the area. I think as long as you don't open the chests, you should be fine. I'm a bit screwed because I've opened a lot of chests beforehand. I'm sure there's a few like nearby, but just don't open them, and you should be fine. But let me not do that. But the Diamond Nautilus apparently is 1%. Now I don't really necessarily think I'm gonna have my Nautili wear armor. It's just gonna be like a novelty item to have. I wish you could display them, like place them down. That'd be pretty cool. Okay. But yeah, I'm excited, I guess. Originally, like, I didn't tweet out about the release date, really. I replied to the initial announcement, but I was like, I'm not excited for this at all. But I guess I am, right? I am excited for the mobs, I guess. I'm very excited to get the mobs into Lightborn, because I think they all will be a part of Lightborn. Except, well, I mean, the riders probably won't, but like the camel husk and stuff will be at some point. I don't even know how they spawn, so. A tough golem would be perfect for that. Yeah, I think tough golems. I don't know. Tough golems are weird, man. I don't know if they have a place in this game or not now. Because originally, like, when shelves came into the game, I was like, well, that's kind of just the tough golem, no? But you could probably have, like, a workaround for it. But like a tough golem wouldn't really work for me because I don't have any builds that need a tough golem right now. And when I make like the castle that I plan to make, maybe I use tough there a lot. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. The castle build is like a year away, honestly. So probably more than that. Let me do that. The water's kind of growing on me. If you know how I feel about Vibe and Visuals, I've said that I don't like the water. but it's kind of growing on me, I have to be honest with you. We'll see. I don't know how I feel about this, but... we might actually keep this tube, just in case. I think it'd be wise to keep this, actually, at least for, like, a little while. Let's get this a little bit further out, honestly. I want to do that. We'll make a trap door, actually. I think treasure items, mobs, always a nice thing to add. Yeah, I'm a sucker for armor trims, honestly. We might actually, because last stream I was talking about how I might change my armor trim color. I like silence, all silence, but I might change it to diamond. Because I've had Netherite for so long. So it's kind of nice to, like, not speed up things, change things up a little bit. But we'll see. Let's put a trapdoor there, just for convenience sakes, I guess. And a trapdoor there. Did you guys see the tweet about... oh, we should talk about this. About dungeons? Nope. Okay, so... heuristic. Bear with me here. I know heuristic is a shill when it comes to dungeons, but give me a second. Sorry, let me just... so, according to the leaks, this is heuristic's tweet, and then I'll read you the Discord logs. Heuristic says, according to the Minecraft Dungeons 2 leaks, there is a, quote, big surprise, which is, quote, a key element of the game lore that will, quote again, tie into vanilla. A key element of the lore of Dungeons 2. Tie into... okay, just rehashing. Now, the Discord logs. Thing is, there's one big is in italics, surprise. On the Spicewood roadmap, there hasn't been any scene. There hasn't been any scene in any of the screenshots I've seen yet, and it's also supposed to tie in with vanilla, so they can't scrap it or back out at some point. I'm reading a story. Can you please leave me alone? Thank you. So who knows really? Key element of game lore. Do you think the Orb of Dominance should be a vanilla item? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that kind of stuff, to be honest. That midget... I don't play dungeons, so I don't know... I'm sorry. I don't know the names of the things, but if you play dungeons, you probably know what I'm talking about. Piss. Actually, no, that could work. Never mind. I don't know. If it's... so, like, originally, like... I didn't, like, read it, like, take it in as soon as I read it. So I was like, oh, it's like the Minecraft movie with the Happy Cast. Like, there'll be a feature that's coming to, like, both games. And I read story elements. It has to be the end. It has to be. I don't know what, like... Never Wither, maybe? Pillagers, maybe? Ancient cities, because we know the portal's getting lit there. So... does that mean they're gonna... do the third dimension? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the tie-ins with like other Minecraft projects. Could you argue that the Happy Cast wasn't really a tie-in because it is technically a different mob, right? Because it's not a missile like launcher that the one in the movie had. I don't know. Like in my mind, in terms of dungeon stuff, in my mind, it's been cancelled behind the scenes for a while, and they just haven't told us because it's merging at the end of the day, and they'll just release it. I don't think they'll use Minecraft Live as like a stepping stone to be like, here it is, it's coming in 2027 or something. I think they'll just release it at some point. But who knows, honestly. Is that big enough? We might have to remove that. Big enough for the Nautilus, I mean. I don't really care about me. I don't know, what does the orb represent? Is it like, genuinely, I am completely illiterate to dungeons. So, like, does it control something or someone? I guess because Orb of Dominance, right? I don't know. It's in the movie as well? I didn't know that. Again, I didn't watch. Honestly, I'm really not that engaged with other Minecraft content. That's not the base game. Like, the other stuff is cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't particularly care that much. I don't know if that makes me a bad person or not. Should be enough, but let me... Okay, that should be fine. Honestly. Maybe it needs to go higher. Yeah, I think this roof needs to go a bit higher. We'll do one higher. Prepare your eardrums. Seems to have a different use in every game. Weird. Well, if it's got a different use in every game, how can you tie that into the lore? I mean, it'd have to be the dungeons. The dungeons version of the orb has to be canon then. If what we're saying is it is Orb of Dominance related, that would mean the dungeons definition, I guess, of the Orb of Dominance is the correct one. Candy Crush spin-off, I have not seen much about it. I don't really care that much. It's kind of insulting, I find, but that's just my opinion. So... I don't really play mobile games, right? So... God, am I being negative again? Maybe. I'm just really, like, scared to be negative again, honestly. So I had to, give, like, a... not a trigger warning, but, like, a preface to all of my recent tweets and be like, please don't take this the wrong way. Like, I'm not blindly criticizing Matter Mayhem. Because people will anyway, right? Because, people have their reasons. But... still. I have -1 hours played. I do as well. It's very strange. I'm not a huge fan. Oh, sorry, I can't. Hang on, let me. Can I scroll up? No. Yes, I can. I'm not a huge fan of Candy Crush games, but I'm just happy to see the Minecraft universe grow. Yeah. How often do you go to swimming at pools? I have not gone swimming in like 13 years. Set a screenshot of my world on VV with actions and stuff in microchat. Let me have a look at this. Ooh. Very cool. Okay, if this isn't high enough, I don't know what is. Let me build this up. Okay, we should be good. So all we need to do is just bring a Nautilus in, and yeah. Should be fairly easy. Actions and Stuff and VV is the best. With Actions and Stuff VV with a vanilla setting is the absolute best thing to happen. Very tempted to get it now. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, is this fine? I think so. Maybe I should build this up a bit higher. Might as well, like, we're doing odd jobs today, we haven't really got a set thing we're doing, so completely random shenanigans I feel like doing. Hello, Cast. Okay, good thing about this tunnel is it's not that far away from my Nether hub. It's always good. It's the first thing I made, actually, I think, connecting this to that. Okay, I might be overdoing this. Like maybe I'm like being overtly cautious, but I really want all the all the Nautilus variants. So okay. We'll just have to connect it up, I think. There we go. Okay, so I want to build that higher. So let's do that now, and then we'll do the opposite side. But yeah, I mean, if you're like looking for stuff to do to prep for the next drop, and you don't have a coral reef nearby, I think getting one close to you would be a beneficial, like one to easy access, I guess. I mean, that's if you want Nautilus, I guess. You're lucky my base is on top of a mountain with the nearest ocean being over 1,000 blocks away. Really, elemental. That sounds rough. Yeah, I mean, when I looked for a new world, for like a new seed for my world, I knew I wanted a forest biome. I wanted a fairly large one. I don't know. I just like forests, right? I feel like in modern Minecraft, they're more flat than plains in most instances. In most instances, right? I don't know. I feel like ravines are less common in. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but it's my assumption. Um, and I also wanted to have a large ocean because I wanted to one day make a large port and stuff, which I've made now. So now we're going to pick up this because we just may need it, I guess. But I know the feeling of living on a mountain. My previous world, I was living in a mountain. Mountain bases can be pretty cool, honestly. I liked my one, although I kind of wrecked the world a little bit, like it didn't really have a vision. I could bring a zombie Nautilus with the Happy Ghast, but that, yeah. Okay, but like with my world, like I've got the opposite issue, right? I've got no mountains near me. The mountains can be very nice. I was kind of sad about not having one near me. I've got hills, but the tallest mountain I have is the one I'm using that has the Dragon Shrine and the mine. And that's not very tall. It's wide, but it's not very tall. In comparison to modern day mountains and stuff. Okay, let's destroy this. Same thing again. Again, maybe I'm being cautious, but I don't want me to suffocate, and I also don't want the Nautilus to suffocate. So better safe than sorry. I mean, like, I've wanted to. The vision of me wanting to build a town has been the vision of my last 3 worlds. I think I've spoken about this before, right? I had Thornsville, which was the world I had with the mountain house. I had Britland, and now I've got Lightborn. And they've all. Well, I mean, Thornsville to Britland wasn't that big of a jump, really, but Britland to Lightborn was massive in terms of quality. Shame you didn't take. I mean, I used to not be a screenshot person, honestly, so I'm not surprised. But the Thornsville world, was it Thornsville? Must have been. Was complete cheeks. Like, it wasn't good in my opinion. It was like no real theme, no real order to anything. Builds were kind of just placed all over the place. I don't really like that kind of style. That's why I don't really enjoy Toy Cat's World that much. Not to like, I'm not hating, right? Please don't fucking kill me. But Toy Cat's World is, and it works for him. Like if it works for him, who cares, right? But I just don't enjoy that kind of style. I mean, maybe that's the impression like I get, and maybe like he thinks he's got structure, right? Which is fine. I just personally don't really see it that way. Yeah, in my creative build world, I'm a lot more chaotic and stuff, because, I mean, who cares? Okay, can I throw some stuff away real quick? Normally I don't watch the end update slop, but I respect M.O.M as a creator, so I knew it was... Yeah, I don't watch M.O.M, honestly. I don't really like his attitude. I also don't believe an end update is coming. So, well, definitely not next year, but like soon. I do think a third or fourth dimension, sorry, is coming beforehand. Which is going to be very bad for Mojang, but you know, they're gonna dig themselves in this hole. Let's just see how they deal with it. Dimension-wise, yeah, the end does deserve it more, but there's one thing that triumphs everything, even an end update. I'm guessing it's before 2030. Yeah, I'd say an end update is coming before the decade is over. I think that's realistic. I'm patient regarding that, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I used to really want an end update. I can't remember why. And I kind of just like, lack of a better word, grew out of it. And was like, well, there's bigger issues, I think. But to say the end is never getting updated is hubris. Because it is, right? Only 5 more years left in the decade. Technically, nearly 4. Which I guess next year, I'll be officially pushing 30. Which kind of scares me a little bit. Not as much as this thing does though. Why are you making that face at me? Okay, just eat my arrow. That's cool, I guess. No, it's not the same level as my boat highways. It's not really a part of my nether hub. Because all it leads to is a coral field that I occasionally use, right? And yeah, like it has the area where I got my blue axolotl, but like I don't think it's that integral to a nether hub, right? New content is great, but updating current features, sorry, are things I'm more currently excited for. Combat and chanting, yeah, I agree. I think I've held that position for a long time. I feel like the inventory update is very easy to solve, but maybe that's just me talking, right? Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I just feel like... it's not as difficult as Mojang are making out to be. Sometimes it's like, okay, so I'm trying to train myself, like in the Nether portal, with the purple screen, I'm trying to train myself to like go in third person, so you guys aren't blinded by the swirling things. But sometimes I do forget, so I am sorry about that. It doesn't really bother me that much. It used to, but wonder if you can turn down the swirliness. Yeah, I know. Must be nice. How many Nautilus shells do I have? 39. I think Bundles did an amazing job. I'm sorry I didn't get enough praise. Bundles of Bravery is my favourite drop. Fun fact. Now, don't get me wrong. Every drop has the same issue again and again and again, so they're not really. They've all missed the mark, including my favourite drop, right? But I still think it was the closest to that vision. Okay, so what we're doing here is basically, for the longest time, when we remade, because this was grass, obviously, right? We made this into pale moss because why not, right? It's cool. And ever since then, mobs have started to like spawn in the portal, and I'm completely baffled as to why. So today, that changes hopefully. Besides Bonds of Bravery, what drop was the closest? I can tell you. So I used a tier list to do this. I redone the tier names because doing A, B, and C and D is like redundant. It might because I tweet a lot, right? It might take me a minute to find, so bear with me. But there was another drop as well that was hitting the mark. I think I know what it is, but let me just find it. Would it be in media? Would that be an easy way of finding it? Yeah. So I had Bonds of Bravery and Spring to Life. I think both of those two were the closest to hitting what I believe is the definition of a drop. They didn't hit it, but they were the closest to hitting it. And no other drop has gotten close and has actually regressed in that department. In my opinion, right? Can't really do that block, so let's do. Wait. Okay. Sheep variants, that's definitely why I'm saying missed the mark. The sheep variant stuff and the ice biome stuff is the thing that is me saying it missed the mark. With Bundles of Bravery, it missed the mark because half of the update was for one version. And it was for catch-up purposes. And the actual drop itself, the main flagship feature, was in the game, technically, for a while. But parity is a massive win for me personally in terms of a drop. So that's why I think Months of Mayhem isn't as good. Fun fact. Yeah, I might play with VV more. We'll see. I say that a lot, I know. Okay, we're probably overdoing it, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Oh, you know what? It could be this. It could be under the staircase. Oh, there's one right here. Okay. I prefer occasional VV streams. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's nice to play a bit sometimes. I will give it that. I just, like, in terms of the next drop, I hope, like, something's said next week. Because otherwise next week is just going to be dead completely. But I'm again, a little bit concerned about next week. Because it's like, in my mind, you have a version of the game that is moving version numbers, right? Bedrock is moving, I don't know what, like, I don't memorize these numbers, but it's moving to a different number, right? The next drop number. And in my mind, it makes perfect sense to say, at the same time, by the way, here's where we're, like, this is why we're changing version numbers. Here's the new system. But because Mojang aren't that qualified when it comes to critical thinking, I don't really think that's going to be the case, and I think it'll be next year that they announce it, which would be fucking stupid. But we'll see. S tier drop feature from this drop system. What are you asking me or? It doesn't have to be equal treatment when it comes to parity. It doesn't. Like, because parity is parity, right? It moves the game forward regardless of what it is. So people can't really complain if it's like, oh, one version gets an entire, like, hand and the other version gets a coloured cauldron. Now, I will say, Bonded of Bravery did neglect Java a little bit. There were opportunities you could have done. Like testing test snapshot stuff, like combat test snapshot stuff, because Bonded of Bravery, I don't know, it kind of makes sense, to me at least. But they didn't, right? And it is what it is. At the end of the day. Let me place that. I was talking about the bundles, but yes, I do want to hear what's your... Yeah, so I do agree, bundles are... Although I don't use them, I do recognise that they are an S-tier feature. What would I say is an S-tier feature? That silence wasn't me thinking, that was me genuinely saying there isn't an S-tier feature. Vibrant Visuals isn't really S-tier. Like, well, it isn't, sorry, let me rephrase that, isn't a feature per se. Dude, I just have a lot of disdain for the drop system. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've given it a lot of chances, and I'm kind of running out of patience a little bit with it, in my opinion. Every drop, in my opinion, has been rushed in some way. So that doesn't really help. I love the Happy Cast to death. The Happy Cast is my favourite feature, but is it S tier? Not when I can do this. Not really. Actually, I want to see what Lightborn is like with casual vibrant visuals. Looks quite nice. Okay, so going back to this area, let me think about what I was planning to do. Wait, what? Are you still the same zombies I had earlier? I probably cut it down to here, which would be a bit rough, but you can make it work, I think. Yeah, you can quite easily, actually. Can you put a statue here, though, is the question. I think you could. Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to make a copy of the world. How long does it take to Excel world? Not very long, right? Yeah. I know what I'm doing when it comes to making worlds. I've got like a muscle memory developed. I still have to tell myself duplicate world and delete world, but I know what I'm doing. I've lost too many worlds to me deleting them stupidly. I know what I'm doing. 600 megabytes? Yeah, that's kind of crazy. When did I hit? Was it when I went mining? That might have been it, right? I mean, I think my old world was at 1 gigabyte at this point, so that's kind of crazy. Don't jinx yourself. It's true. Okay. Yeah, that's why I don't travel much, if at all, really. It's very rare. Duplicating takes ages? It does, yeah. I've made way too many copies. Okay. I can delete this one. And we'll do this one. It's a lot easier to duplicate on console, but it takes a lot longer as well. So does that cancel that out? Maybe. Protect baby turtles from hostile mobs. Isn't it just zombies? I will never get tired of hearing happy casts. I know where that shulker box is. I don't know where this one is. I haven't lost them, I don't think. Broken Clocks plays a lot. Yeah, I love this song. It's the closest I think they've gotten to old Minecraft music. But I think this was Chase the Skies, right? I think Chase the Skies had a lot of music like that. Which is why Chase the Skies is a very good update. And I mean, it's very special to me, honestly. I don't know, man, there's just something about Happy Cars, I've said this before countless times. There's something about Happy Cars that makes me, like, genuinely tear up when I hear them. I don't know why. Thoughts on soup? I'm not a big fan of soup. I remember on my school trip to Norfolk, when I was like 10 or 11, they had us eat like tomato soup, and I was repulsed by it. I'm a very picky eater now, honestly. But I don't really care about my health that much, so I guess that's part of it. Haste. Okay, so what level are we mining? Let's not focus on, actually, what we'll do is get some... Okay, yeah, that's sniffer enclosure stuff. But let me get these two. Yeah, I just don't like soup. Granted, I haven't had it in a very long time. So we can do this. It's not going to be pretty for a while, so just bear with me. Before I lost weight, I ate like 6 meals a day. See, like, my metabolism is fucked. Like, I don't know what kind of metabolism it is, but where I don't gain weight. I used to, I would eat, right, and you'd be able to see, like, my ribcage. When I was, like, 17, 18. Yeah, I mean, my parents were going to call me Oliver. Because, like, Oliver Twist and stuff like that. It's kind of funny looking back. Because I really don't eat that much anymore. So something I just realised, we're going to need to mine copper, aren't we? Because the copper we have is all waxed. Because it's from the trial chamber. So we're unironically going to have to mine copper. And a lot of it. That's fine. This is fine. You could just unmax it. That's going to take years. Mining's fun anyway. Not on stream, it's not. Very, very boring on stream. And I'm much less efficient when I'm mining on stream. But I'll just mine some. By some I mean an entire biome's worth. I'm just easily distracted, right? Like, it may not seem like it while I'm playing in game, but I'm not. I'm talking to you guys and I'm streaming, but I'm not thinking about Minecraft right now. It's kind of a skill that I'm not thinking about the game, but I'm playing it somewhat coherently, I guess. But all I'm doing is mining dirt, so. Thinking about us. Thinking about a lot of stuff right now. $70.20. It's like the end of my game attack. I love like that's 20 days passed already. Didn't we hit 7,000 the other day? What have they been doing? I've not been AFK. I get a lot more stuff done off stream, yeah. That's definitely true. Because I'm a lot calmer off stream, and that's saying something, because inherently I'm not a very calm person. But I'm a lot calmer off stream. I don't even know where we are. I did some copper mining in my other world, collecting a bunch of things at the same time. It was like a 4-hour mining session. Yeah, I probably would just exclusively mine copper and maybe diamond, but I probably won't go that low. So we've still got a lot to go. I do want to get this done at least, so we have something to point to today that we've achieved. Be nice. Even though, like, I'm probably not going to build a copper statue in a very long time, but just having the area mined out. Maybe get a podium done soon. What is hitting me? Let's sleep, because there's a lot of mobs right now. Well, not a lot, but you know what I mean. Nice, it's ready. Let's do the pale moss as well, because we can always farm it. As long as we have one, we can always farm pale moss. Let's take a look of how we're doing. Does this make sense? Yeah, it's going to look fine, I think, here. That's good. I was kind of worried about that. But it's at a good Y level, I think. You just need the back of the mountain to look okay. But I think it'll be good to go. Yeah, I'm kind of glad this has builds on it now, the mountain, because like I knew I was never going to get rid of it because I had to have the cave, the mine I had envisioned, which is basically the same one from my old world. I needed a mountain, right, of some kind, and this was the only one I had. We're very far away right now. What are we looking at? Oh, what the fuck? That's not good. Okay. But yeah, like, we obviously had a mountain, like, there, right? But it wasn't or mine-worthy. Does that make sense? And, like, if I wanted to build, like, you know what the, animal enclosures were? Say I did build the mine there, like I used that mountain there, right? It would have been terrible because below it would have been a massive hole. So not really a whole lot of land to work with, to be honest with you. I have to do it in moderation. Moderation is like the key to everything. I can do this quite easily because it's not that much to deal with, right? Are we okay? Yeah, we can mine this part out. Let's make some progress up above. You want to... Actually, let's go back down, never mind. Cut this in half. I do this a lot. I cut things in half. Or whatever. Obviously it's not half always, but you know what I mean, right? Cut it in sections. Makes tearing down things a lot easier on you. And it makes it a lot smoother to see the progress you're making. Because you can look at it incrementally and be like, okay, that quarter's done. Okay, that quarter's done, you know? I think that whole area started because the tree farm looked ugly. That's insane to think about. Like if the tree farm looked half as good as it, like, as I wanted it to, which I don't think it ever would have, that area wouldn't have existed. But I think something's changed. I don't think I'll ever build an above ground tree farm now. I see the efficiency in a underground tree farm. There's a midget zombie somewhere. Will it burn before it gets to me? Who knows? It won't. Why does it not set me on fire? That's really... Sometimes it sets you on fire, sometimes it doesn't. There's skeleton? How are you spawning? Where the fuck are you spawning from? Do you need to ever cover your gold farm? I don't know. It's not really that, like, it's so far out of the way. Like, my old, like, the world before this, you guys know, I've spoken about it before, the gold farm was in the village. It's like, if I can put this into perspective, imagine the gold farm was by the Christmas tree. Like, it was that close. How are you spawning? I don't get it. I know why you're spawning, but how are you spawning? Yeah, it looked a bit different as well. Looked worse, honestly. Oh, that's where the arrow is. The old mob farm. That was rough. That was definitely a dark day in Lightborn. I think one day I just decided I can't have this in the world. They just no, and tore it to shreds. And I still like have a lot of the supplies left from that. Like I've still got a lot of bones, and obviously like arrows I get from bartering. String I get from bartering. Spider eyes I get from witch hearts. So I never actually lost anything, which I was kind of worried about at the time. I was worried I'd be at a net loss eventually, and maybe that eventually will still happen. But it's been like 5,000 days since that happened, or something. And I'm still here. Lightborn is still, well, it's thriving as far as I can tell. You sound so fuzzy and depressed in the pod. No, I'm just depressed. Making excellent progress. Really wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. But yeah, I remember having the mob farm, just like, this was before I had more houses, right? So, I don't mind having a house that blocks my view, because I don't have a balcony, so... I think my old house I did, right? So I'd look out and it's this ugly fucking, like, what was it, deep slate structure? I still have the old library, by the way. Because my preview version is broken, I have that copy. So I have the old farm and the old library. And the tree farm. Let's be careful of how we destroy this. We could do a little bit more, maybe, but I don't know, I think this is fine. Because I think for the longest time, I was still attached to my old world. Like, it took a while for me to get attached to this one, I'm gonna be honest with you. So I built my old house. Like, literally, it was the exact same thing. And obviously, eventually it changed. How? So I believe this is where it ends. So let's just... Feck. I almost never enter it, I have no reason to. Just, yeah. Yeah, I hated the old mob farm. The system, the chest storage system, everything about it just sucked. The torch spam, yeah. I remember that not being, because I was dreading destroying it and replacing it with moss carpets. I remember it not being as painful as I thought it would be. Maybe I was just efficient at destroying the torches. We're gonna fly away and sleep. That's crazy. The first time in a very long time the mountain's been altered, by the way. Well, at least 6,000 days. Something I have to look at and laugh at is the old brewing area. Dragon statues barely lit up. Yeah, I think I'll light it up more and more as the mountain gets more attention to it. Wow. Yeah, I think the deep state corridor still exists though in the Amethyst Research Lab. So that's pretty cool. But I couldn't have it in the Witch Tower. So the old brewing area, it was okay, but it just didn't fit. That was the issue I had, right, with my old builds, was they would, as my world got older, build every single build just didn't match the updated ones, and it became a cycle for a good 1,000 days, where I would just constantly remake old builds. It started off with the lighthouse, I think, and I was like, huh, that's pretty good. Well, I mean, the sniff enclosure is getting changed, so that's something. But apart from that, I think we're actually good on changing stuff. Guess we're going down this wall too. Doesn't make too much of a difference, that's fine. I feel like there's no builds in me, to me, that look out of place, yeah. For sure. And that's good. It's very good. I'm quite happy with it. I remember being very happy with the lighthouse, because the old lighthouse, whilst it was bittersweet, because the old lighthouse was the first, like, village build I made. It was like 100 days in. I still really prefer the new one. Yeah, much better shape, much better design. The lights actually work. They constantly work. Like, I think the old lighthouse, they did work, but then you went outside. Like, if we had the old lighthouse now, they'd be out of radius and they would stop working. You can kind of see the outline, actually, from here. Yeah, I've never had any issue with it. A lot of this is gravel. It's very nice, actually. Makes it a lot easier. Near Oliver scrummaging around. Or not, Leo. Keep saying Oliver, man. I don't see him though, so he's probably planning something. Got Oliver on your mind? I guess so, yeah. And just like that, a big chunk of it is gone. And in its place will be a statue. So we're going to fill in the holes in the wall, and I'll probably put a podium off stream, and then that'll be a better idea of what we need to terraform. Makes sense that the people that like born would build statues on there. Yeah. It's just to like, again, the lore of it is that it's a tribute to the companionship of person and mobs, right? That is the main thing. Alright, let's get rid of these floating sugar boxes. We'll come back for the beacon and stuff soon. Actually, why don't we just do it now? Let me... do that. We're throwing the copper ore away, I know, but it's fine. We'll mine it eventually. Okay. Random question: when you think of certain things, do you still always remember the time when you were a child asking your parents about it? I don't remember much about my childhood, so my childhood is a bit of a blur, really. Feels like we still got haste 2. But I know it's just haste 1. Very strange, very odd. Okay. You did a haste 2? That's weird, because half of it was already destroyed. Strange. Last longer, yeah. I guess so. Let me get the correct amount. We're looking for 36. Okay, good. Not a big loss if we miss one block. Like, we've got enough gold. But, you know. Okay, let's put the dirt away. Not sure if you have the ability to do this in your world, but changing the armor trims, but changing armor sets entirely different. It sets entirely and displaying them when you do something cool. Yeah, I do. Like, I think. No, I already have that, don't I? I'm stupid. I was like, I do need to build a place where all the armor trims are on display, but I mean, I literally do. So it's just in my old world, I had it in the armory as well. I can put this away, right? I don't need this anymore. Let's put the grass away, and we need to repair our tools as well. I know they're not that damaged, but I like to keep them as fully repaired as possible. Have you ever considered changing the colour of your tools' names? Um, maybe. I need to figure out names for my armor. And my bow. Just AFK on stream, I might do. Sounds like a good idea. Fell from Grace is just like an old name I had, but I'm not creative with the other types. Okay, I don't know how loud this is for you guys, but I'm not taking any chances. It's going to get loud in a second anyway, so. It's noisy, but not too noisy. It'll be very noisy when Pigmen start spawning. So. Name the helmet top hat? Yeah, I might do. You're really quiet. Okay, I mean. Yeah, I'm good on that. I guess it's because the sound isn't that low. Sorry for bumping the mic, by the way. I guess it's because the sound isn't that high, sorry. God damn, look at all the horses here. Ooh. Gonna definitely take a few to Lightborn when the Massive Mayhem drops. Okay, whilst we wait for that to fizzle out, let me see. Okay, we recently raided it, I guess. Not bad. Yeah, I'll probably leash them all. Okay. Like, what's the coral reef like with classic 5M visuals? Can't really see it. It's much better on Prisma. Or can you? I guess you can. So what I want to do, real quickly... How much has this changed? Huh. We're gonna probably have to mine the grey regardless. Let's mine the stone whilst we're here. I remember the random kid in school who walked up to me and went, "Look at what I can do," and he flipped his eyelids inside out. That is incredibly scary and traumatizing. But also kind of cool in a way. So in terms of the height, this might be a tall structure. I don't know yet. I mean, it'll at least go to... Well, actually, yeah, it will be a tall structure. Twitch really wants me to gift a sub. Yeah, there's the 35% off gift subs, apparently. Yeah, please don't do that. Have you guys seen that you can donate to a streamer like 1,000 subs now? Another priority feature I just remembered that we need. Blocks need to maintain their broken percentages like they do in Java. Yeah. My ear really hurts. This is fine. I'll live. I'll live. But yeah, Twitch is just weird, man. I don't know what decisions they're making. It seems very tone deaf and out of touch, to me at least. But I'm just a simple streamer. So, you can even call me that. But from my perspective at least, it's kind of strange. Bits are so expensive, bits are really strange, yeah. I don't really understand bits. Okay, so I'm guessing actually this might all be made out of dirt, and then the layer, the podium will be above it, right? So we need to get the dirt back actually. We'll do that. The other day, I was like, "Oh, hype train. I will give bits. The subs will be like $18." And I checked, and I'd have to spend like $34. Yeah, that's crazy. It's not worth it. It really isn't. I mean, I know bits. I think all of the bits go to the streamer, but I still don't call me on that. Regardless, that would still be a bit wrong. The bits also don't benefit other viewers. Yeah, exactly. Benefit me though. No, they don't. Not really. Although I do appreciate every donation I get. I'd much rather it's given to the community as well, so like everyone can experience it. Okay, fill in these holes. And that'll be all grass. Yeah, 100% of the bits do go to the streamer, which is nice, but at the same time, doesn't really mean much. Because it's not really like the main source of income people get. I don't think anyway. Even like the top streamers, I think did get more from like donations via something else or a third-party Twitch app or the Twitch extension. I mean, or subs. Bits have always been like a side thing, in my opinion. Just gonna throw these in the corner and briefly ignore them. To me, 100 bits is $2.40. Here it's a one-to-one exchange, so it's 100 bits is £1, I think. I don't donate to streamers. I don't sub to streamers, so I don't actually know. I don't really care to know. If I donated, I would, but I don't really foresee myself donating to streamers. So, it doesn't really bother me that much. Okay, this is roughly the amount of grass or stone, sorry, that we mined. So we'll probably have like a few stacks extra, but I feel like if you stream for like 5 hours, like you should have more than like you should have the average amount of like recommended average of ads. I stream for 2 hours, which is why I have it extremely low. One thing that bothers me about your bed is you can't sneak in from the side. Good. Yeah, maybe he doesn't need the ads. Well, if he's thinking of donating any more money, or donating money, I'll gladly take some. He's British, maybe you've met him. There's always a chance. Feck, why have I still got stone? God damn it. Thought I picked it all up. Yeah, I feel like if you have like 50k followers, you're like a big streamer. Okay. No, it's not the most exciting stream today, but I'm glad we did it. I did want to destroy this for the. We may actually. Now that I think about it. Nah, surely not, because I don't think this entire area is going to be the platform. It doesn't want more Twitch attention. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine a stream with 2k viewers has a fast chat. Destroyer? I barely know her. XDDDD. My skin looks weird. Is that the cape that's kind of phasing? It's kind of funny. How much more have we got? Not a lot. Okay. Let's lock in and get this done. Yeah, I'd say the prison's quite a early build. I'd say. I mean, hotel, sniffering. It depends, because literally, like all it took for me to want to make a copper statue was I saw a reel on it on Instagram, and I'm like, I want to build that exact same thing. So it's not my design, for the record. It's going to look very good. So that's how you know it's not my design. It's going to take a lot of mining. Or the prison. It's going to take a lot of mining as well, actually. I don't honestly know. I used to... With the Cops and Robbers minigame, that was really popular back in the mid 2010s. I built a prison for my own Cops and Robbers minigame, so I've kind of built one before. But we'll see. Okay, as we wind up the stream, I'm going to briefly just recap what I did, I think, a few days ago. Because I've made some changes to the hotel. Let's go check that out. See what's occurring. It's mostly just candle stuff, honestly. I think. See, the roof has lights. You kind of saw that at the beginning of the stream when I loaded in. Pretty cool. Not too shabby. I need to destroy this dirt thing as well, actually. Yeah, I placed lanterns on this block all the way around. Because there was nothing going on here. So... Little gravel circle, just niche things. So I've got two things over there, little candle holders. I've moved this, like the little seating areas, and I've got more plants and copper bulbs. So basically, like, only the center, I think, like this center like part needs light. But apart from that, yeah, I really like adding the plants. I think it's quite nice. Got mangrove stuff. No. Okay, we're good. They didn't destroy anything, right? No. Um, and obviously got little things here. Quite nice. Okay, so we've also done the roof. So like, obviously, if you bought a room here, the roof is like there, right? But if you wanted to, for whatever reason, raise it higher, you can. I need to add more oak, but that's okay. So there's a lot of ceiling to work with on the top floor, which is very nice. I fixed some inconsistencies, so I don't know if anyone noticed, but this pillar wasn't here. You'd have like the concrete walls and then a gap in between, and it didn't really look that great, right? So I've filled it all in and stuff. But apart from that, I did some flower pots. Sorry. Apart from that, always good. Sea pickles, so you can actually see the little area. Because I mean, you couldn't really before, and we have sea pickles now, so why not, right? But yeah, really coming together. Obviously, I'm keeping these shulker boxes here because they're the ones I need the most. The redstone one only just for like the bulbs. Was the pickle farm, by the way? I can shut off. So, surprise, surprise, it is in the redstone area. Fun fact. Who knew? Okay, it is here. So, I think I got bone meal. It's very good. Yeah, I mean, I needed a lot of them, right, for the ocean field, for the coral fields. I needed a ton. Like I used a lot of sea pickles in that. So, but yeah, the world's a lot better off with sea pickles. Do you have a dripstone farm? I don't know how it works because like these aren't growing. So a block of water. Wait, what? Wait, that's revolutionary. Because a dripstone farm could be fire. I should probably prepare for that. Do I have dripstone blocks? I don't think I do. So like, would that if I replaced, for example, if I did the exact same thing like this but with water, like remove the cauldrons. I would need the cauldrons, but if I just that would work. Okay, well I need to write this down because I can make that literally in my next session that I play. Um, Dripstone. Dripstone. Farm needs water. Okay, that's very useful information. Thank you. I didn't know that. I was really confused because, like, oh, like they never obviously grew here. I don't know. I could put water on here and be done with it, but I want to make a bigger area. So maybe like this area is the dripstone farm or something, or maybe like this area. Yeah, this area. And to get dripstone, I don't know where my nearest dripstone cave is. Make sure you mine the dripstone from the top up. Yeah. Yes, sir. I'm gonna check real quick if I have any. I don't know if I do. There's a chest for it. Yoink. Yoink, yoink, yoink. It's not going to be enough, but it'll do for now. And we'll always, because we're farming it, we can add to it. Where is that? That's like 2 blocks though, right? Or 3? 3. Okay. Not bad. Ever thought of giving your house a back garden? Honestly, no. Like, I don't really want my house to be special because, like, I'm building a castle. So that's probably where I'll live, I'm guessing, eventually. So, like, the whole idea of it is, like, my house, I want my house to be the same as everyone else's. But the castle is a different story. So, but I've got, like, no thoughts on that right now. Like I said earlier, it's a very long term, in the future project. So does the water need to be still? I probably will have it still, but does it need to be? That's where TBH King resides. Yeah, exactly. Solid water? I thought so. I mean, that makes sense. Just gonna build up briefly. Okay, we're going to leave a gap so we can come back in. And do the same here. I didn't know this. I had no idea. Again, I did wonder why I wasn't getting any as a result of the dripstone that's already there, but... Yeah, I don't want to destroy. That's why I have to be very careful. Careful is my middle name, though. Maybe scaffolding, I'm stupid. Okay, actually, wait, let me put that there. Do I have a water source here? I don't. That's awkward. Use two middle names. My full name is... Why is there just lava? It's a trash can, yeah. You've never said your middle names before? I have actually, yeah. I have a few times. I just don't do it regularly. Because I don't really need to. In my opinion. Yeah, I just don't do it often, I guess. So we're going to yoink this briefly for the greater good of society. It's going to be a very long and annoying process, but bear with me. I don't know, I get in a habit of crouching and like staying crouched. It's hard to tell, but I think we've got a water source going. Not here. Okay, I think that's it. Maybe turn off VV. I think we're fine. Surely. Mine this out completely. Okay, yeah, I'm going to turn off EV for this. Do you have any permanent beacons in your world? I have the sheep farm one that gives me jump boost. That allows me to access the farm. But I can hear birds outside screaming. What, on my end or your end? On my end, okay. Because I can hear kids screaming outside. That's what I can hear. So I didn't know if you were talking about me. And I just had a train. At 10 p.m. Trains go on. Well, do you mean the kids or the trains? It's Friday, so I guess kids are off school. We're actually going overtime right now on our stream, guys, so I'm going to need at least 10 gifted to compensate for my 7 minutes overtime. I'm currently overworking right now. So, you know. No, don't do that. Could I have torches? I do. Just for, I know they're not going to spawn, but just for shits and giggles, we're just going to fucking place torches correctly. Okay. First it was signs, now it's torches. $58, that's crazy. Let me just... How much is this? 16 would be nice, but I don't think we're gonna get 16. Yeah. 13. 13's not bad. We could extend it, I guess. By 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We can't even give you 1,000 subs because you don't have 1,000 followers yet. Dude, 1,000 followers would take me so long. $200 is pretty plausible, yeah. Okay, then we just make this flow, and we should... oh yeah, we are, okay. We did use 16, good. Let me get some water. There's a map, same thing, just a little bit different. Okay. What? Did I place that? I must have. I did. I was gonna say... Wait, we're missing one. If this was 16... That grew? It grew on the ground? What? Okay, I guess. That's... They both get longer and grow on the floor. That's kind of funny. I didn't know that. What the hell? Okay. Well, we have a dripstone farm now. 7,000 days in. Don't tell me there's nothing I can do more in this world. When I've just made a dripstone farm, I can do anything. I did not know that's how they worked. Anyway, now make an auto cookie farm. Because I probably could as well. Okay, so I'm going to stream there. We did get a few things done. I mean, just kind of like a chill stream today, you know. I didn't really know what to do, but we've gotten some things done. That looks really weird, but it's going to look better with a statue there. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Hopefully it was entertaining or watchable or both at the same time, or you know, half and half. So I need to give you like 1,400 bits. Yes, exactly. No, please don't. But yeah, I don't know when I'll stream next, but we'll see. Until then, though, take care of yourselves, drink some water, play some Minecraft, get ready for Months of Mayhem because it's coming soon. I heard. Did any better since before the stream? Not really, but you know, we move forward. We move forward as always. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Hope you have a good rest of your day, morning, afternoon, or evening. I will one day say that in order. Morning, day, afternoon, evening. I will get it in order one day, but today's not that day. Until that day, though, catch you guys later. Take care.